What's going on, everybody? So I had a viewer reach out because they were wrestling with alcohol and anxiety. Not going to say who this viewer was or tell any details of the story, but it got me thinking I could respond to this comment, I did, or I could shoot a video talking about alcohol and anxiety. Now, who am I today? I'm actually having a really good day, guys. I just got a massage, had some good food. I'm wearing a very fun t-shirt. Let me show you guys. It's literally the cutest dog you've ever seen, and he's eating some freaking ramen. So I'm having a good time, having literally no anxiety, and I can't remember the last time I've actually wrestled with anxiety. It's been about 2.5 years since my last drop of alcohol, and I figured I'd do this video to help motivate and inspire some of you guys out there wrestling with anxiety / alcohol and your relationship with both of them. And hopefully I can clarify some things for you guys. So my goal with this video, guys, is to help motivate you. I'm not here to brag. Like, look at me, I have zero anxiety. I'm here to show you what's possible. You don't have to live the rest of your life with anxiety. Like, I very rarely get any kind of anxiety. I can't even remember the last time I've dealt with anxiety. And honestly, that's a blessing in disguise because I have dealt with a lot of anxiety. One second. Okay. And here's the thing, guys. Anxiety manifests itself in so many different ways. Like, it's hard to put it in a box because you can feel so many different symptoms with anxiety. So I'm going to tell you a bunch of symptoms I have felt with anxiety. And a lot of my anxiety was actually induced from alcohol. We'll talk about that more here in a little bit. A lot of people drink alcohol because it's an anesthetic. It numbs you. When you do drink, you do feel desensitized, and your response to anxiety does go away. But what people don't realize about alcohol is that it's a poison. It inflames your body. It inflames your brain. It inflames your gut. All of these things influence our perception of anxiety and our stress response and what we perceive as stressful in the first place. So it's a double-edged sword. Every time you drink to cope with anxiety, it's like you're stabbing yourself in the foot because while in that moment, you will be drunk. You will get a little tipsy. You will take the edge off, so to speak. But drinking alcohol, once your body metabolizes that and your body's inflamed from trying to filter it out and your liver's doing what it's got to do and your gut's microbiome's getting wrecked and then your brain's also inflamed. Like, once all that happens, the anxiety is going to come back, and it's going to be worse than it was when you even drank to cope with it in the first place. So alcohol is literally never the solution to anxiety. It's a Band-Aid treatment. It covers it up, but it doesn't deal with the root issue, and it doesn't deal with it long term. And every time you do drink to deal with anxiety, it's going to come back, and it's going to be worse. It's never going to deal with the problem long term. Therefore, Band-Aid therapy. It's like you're getting your arm cut off by a tree and you're just covering it up with a Band-Aid. You're not fixing anything. You're masking it. You're hiding from it. You've got a deep bodily wound and you're putting a t-shirt on, but you're not fixing the issue. Not to be like tough loving out there, but sometimes you got to hear it. So that is essentially how alcohol and anxiety works. This is a very short version. This is a short explanation of it. If you want more details, there's plenty of podcasts out there that talk about this for hours and hours. And honestly, I could talk about the subject for like 3 hours, but I'm not going to because I don't want to bore you guys with like a 3-hour long conversation. So anyways, that is alcohol and how it impacts anxiety. Now, here's the thing. A lot of times we don't know this, and we will drink alcohol to cope with anxiety. So let me talk to you about the issues that I've had. You've probably wrestled with some of these yourself. I've had anxiety so bad to where I'm driving my car, I feel like I'm about to get sucked up into the sky. Worst feeling ever. It's like I'm panicking. I'm behind a motor vehicle. I'm on the freeway, and I feel like I'm going to get sucked up into the sky. I have had, shortness of breath, pressure in my chest, all these weird body aches. I was convinced that something was wrong with me and I was going to die at certain points. Like, I checked into the ER twice because I was sure that I was sick and I was sure something was going wrong. And I'm an ER nurse, guys. I see sick and dying all the time. So my anxiety was so bad that my body or my brain was actually telling me that something was wrong, but I got everything checked and literally Nothing was wrong. Huge eye opener for me. And I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I legit felt like something was going on with me. I felt like my pancreas was inflamed, or I felt like something was going on with like my heart. And I'm healthy as a whistle. I'm healthy as a bird. I have zero paranoia about my health right now, guys. Like, I feel great. I feel so great. But I used to feel like I was dying all the time. I used to feel like something was going wrong. Something was breaking down. And the only thing that made me feel better was alcohol. And then I would drink it, not realizing that it was literally just causing my body to be more and more inflamed. I was just inflaming my body. I was ruining my gut microbiome. And it was keeping me stuck in this anxious state. And the thing is, like, you don't realize alcohol is making you anxious, because when you drink it, you won't have the anxiety temporarily, the Band-Aid. But then 2 days, 3 days, 4 days go by, you sober up, you metabolize it out. Your body releases more stress hormone, because the effects of alcohol, despite the initial hangover, it lasts longer. The psychological effects, the effects on your mood, your anxiety, your gut microbiome, that doesn't clear up in like 1 to 2 days of Pedialyte and laying in bed. That takes time to clear up. Like, alcohol is literally a carcinogen. It's a toxin. It destroys you. Like, it gives you a little dopamine and some serotonin and makes you feel good for a small amount of time, but it robs you of time and feeling good, like, longer. So my anxiety, I told you, I felt like I was getting sucked up into the sky. I was having these chest pressure, shortness of breath. I checked into an ER twice because I was convinced that something was legitimately wrong with me. But that's like just the tip of the iceberg, guys. You name it, I felt it. I was worried about, my future. I was, my job seemed so damn stressful, and it almost kept me wanting to drink, because I'm an ER and trauma nurse. I see life and death all the time. And the crazy thing, guys, is that after I actually quit alcohol, my perception of what stressful was completely changed. Like, there were things that used to really stress me out. Like, easily. I would easily get stressed out. I would easily feel like I needed a drink. And I would drink. And then I would feel better. But here's the crazy thing. Once I quit drinking, after like 3 to 4 months, I was still dealing with the exact same life stressors, the life and death situations at work, the normal anxiety of day-to-day living, but it no longer felt stressful to me. It no longer gave me anxiety. And I was completely capable of handling it and dealing with all those situations. That was the crazy part, guys. Like, after 4 or 5 months of not drinking, I was still dealing with the same stressors that were in my life. But when they used to make me feel like this, like anxiety and stress used to feel like this to the situation, once I cut alcohol out of the equation, those exact same stressors, life and death situations in a trauma center, started feeling like this. My calmness came back. I became cool and level-headed, which is kind of what my baseline was anyways. My resilience went from here all the way here. Like, it takes a shitload to stress me out now. And I'm around stressful situations. I'm around anxiety-inducing situations. But because my body is no longer inflamed, I'm no longer coping with it in a poor way, I am way more capable of handling things. And I don't perceive them as like dangerous or anxious anymore. And that's the crazy thing, guys. And that was the biggest like mind F for me, was that when I quit drinking alcohol, like, life in general just stopped feeling stressful. It was the same life, the same stressors, the same things we deal with, but it just stopped feeling stressful. So I'm telling you guys, like, I was feeling stressed out. I checked in the ER twice. I would feel like I'd get sucked up into the sky. There were a couple times my anxiety was so severe that my fight or flight response was going off. Like, I'm literally sitting in bed and I'm having this sense of like impending doom, like I'm about to die, like the tiger's gonna come kill me. But nothing's wrong. I'm safe. I'm in my room. I'll turn on Netflix and I'll try to watch some TV, but my mind is just running. That there's literally nothing I could do. I couldn't even focus on a TV show, like something like Friends, something funny, that 70s show. Like, my anxiety would sometimes be so bad that I would lay in bed feeling absolutely petrified, like I was just gonna like die or something. The things to try to distract myself, like a nice TV show, I couldn't even concentrate or focus on them because like I'm just feeling like dog shit. And if you are actually in that situation, the only thing I've found that works when I'm in those moods is going outside and going for a very long walk, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour. Get out in nature, just breathe and walk around. Because I've tried meditating in those moods, and meditating is like the hardest thing to do when you're actively just feeling all that anxiety. But a light, gentle activity, like actually going for a long, stimulating walk. I mean, you could just walk outside your house and just walk around your neighborhood and just keep walking. Do it for like an hour, 2 hours, and then come back, try to get some sleep. That's literally my advice to you if you're in that crippling of anxiety. So guys, my anxiety was bad. Like, I mean, what else happened to me? I had insomnia. There were nights I couldn't sleep for like 3 nights on end. Like, thinking about it now, it sounds so ridiculous, but I remember how bad I felt. I'm grateful I don't feel like that anymore. But guys, like, who wants to drive a car feeling like you're about to get sucked up into the sky and having like panic attacks and sense of impending doom in the comfort of your own bedroom in your own bed? Like, that's how bad it would get sometimes. And a lot of people want to just jump to medicating or self-medicating, like with booze, for example. And that doesn't get to the root of the cause. And now I'm not sure what the root of the cause was for me, but there are a number of factors and things that I've worked on after educating myself about, alcohol and anxiety that I'm going to share with you now. So 2 things. 1, anxiety comes from either the brain. Something's going on in your brain. It's inflamed. Alcohol's a poison. It crosses the blood-brain barrier. That can induce it. Trauma, experiences, but also your gut microbiome. Okay, the billions of bacteria that live in your gut, the good and the bad. When you drink alcohol, they get destroyed, guys. And this is something we don't think about. There's a thing called the gut-brain axis. You feel it in your gut. That's an expression that's been around a long time. Like, it just doesn't feel right. That's because your gut actually, in an essence, has a brain of its own. And it's because there's all these healthy bacteria. There's good bacteria and bad bacteria that live in your stomach. And this is something I didn't realize. Like, everything you eat, everything you drink is almost like, imagine it as like a bus with citizens and civilians, and people are moving into your city, your body, your gut microbiome. What are you putting in there? Like, are you putting in processed shitty foods, McDonald's, fried foods, alcohol, a crap ton of sugar, bad foods, guys? That's the equivalent of just inviting like all the thugs and the hoodlums and the gangsters and the homeless people and prostitutes to just come move into your city. Is that going to be a functional city? No, it's not. Is that city going to feel good and healthy? It's not. But then when you start eating better, you cut out the booze, healthy probiotics, guys, cabbage, cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, quinoa, chicken breasts. I'm not going to give you a full-blown diet class, kombucha, kefir, milk cultures. When you start eating better foods and repopulating your gut bacteria, your gut heals. There's even a thing called Leaky Gut Syndrome, which is where the permeability of your gut gets messed up, especially from drinking alcohol, that the bad bacteria starts to go through the gut, because the good bacteria doesn't do it. The bad bacteria will. And that goes through your gut, and then it gets into your bloodstream, and that causes a lot of anxiety and tension. And like, dude, the science behind this stuff is crazy. I watched so many podcasts learning about this. And one of the things I did that I think that ultimately helped me get better was, 1, I cut out drinking. But then 2, I did the work to like repair my gut and my stomach. I started eating better. I started taking care of myself. And I know this is going to sound so overwhelming to someone dealing with anxiety, but the note to take away is it's not permanent. The thing you're feeling, the anxiety, it's not permanent. It's not going to last forever. It's literally a temporary state, and you are more than capable of figuring out what the root cause of it is. Now, I'm telling you, alcohol, that's a big one. That's a big one. You cut that out, a lot of things are going to get better. Your gut inflammation is going to get better. Now, you can do extra. You can do more work. You can eat a better diet. Omega-3 fatty acids are really good for the brain. Salmon, avocado. Do a little research. Try to clean up your diets. The general rule of thumb, just to keep this dirt simple, avoid processed foods, those frozen foods with all the chemicals and preservatives. Avoid the junk food, French fries, guys, sodas, burgers. I mean, I drink soda sometimes, guys. It's not like you don't have to be perfect. You can still have a balanced diet, but you got to try and put some good food in your body sometimes, guys, especially when you're quitting alcohol. It's almost vital. Other things you can do is intermittent fasting. That was a huge one for me, guys. Like, science behind intermittent fasting blows my mind. So I would drink water or black coffee. But essentially, I just have water or black coffee for 16 to 18 hours every day. And I still fast every single day. I give my digestive system 16 to 18 hours to rest, guys, because it's honestly, people don't think about it like that. But think about your car. If you're driving your car all the time, it's going to break down. You got to have some time to do maintenance. You got to get your oil changes done. You got to, get service jobs to keep your car running smoothly. But we don't think about that. Like in America, we are so used to shoving food in our mouth all hours of the day that it leads to a lot of chronic problems. A lot of diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety is from just chronic eating, like overeating. Our bodies weren't built for that. Where our bodies are built for primal times, hunting, gathering. You would go out, you would hunt, you would get food. You would not know when food was coming next. So therefore, we would go big periods of time without eating. And the crazy thing is, like when you go 16, 18 hours and more than that, great things happen in the body, things called autophagy, like stem cells get released. Your body starts to do internal maintenance. It cleans up the old cells. It rebuilds the new cells. Your body starts to run off ketones instead of glucose, which is the simple sugar that comes in most foods. That alone will make you feel better. Like just try it for one day. Like if you're used to eating all the time, you're probably going to have a lot of like grogginess and fatigue when you try to fast the first time. But do a slightly bigger window, like maybe go to sleep and then just skip breakfast, 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours. But when you do your first 16, 18-hour fast of no food, and then you're just like, wow, I have so much mental clarity. Like, guys, I've gone up to 72 hours fasted, by the way. When I get to like 36 hours, I am usually in the best mood of my damn life because my brain starts running off ketones, and ketones are a very clean energy source. You have increased alertness, increased mood. You don't feel like you need coffee. And that's what would happen to humans because when we go a long time without food, we would get more alert. We would get quicker. And that way we could find more food. It's so crazy. But a lot of this is understanding your body, guys, like diet, fasting, prioritizing your sleep. That's a big one. If you don't sleep, you're going to have anxiety. Cutting out the booze, doing the work to decrease the inflammation in your gut. And we haven't even got into like meditation, guys, like meditation. Taking the time to pause, breathe, feel your body, put your mind into your body, to stop the thoughts, stop the scrolling, all the TikTok, the Instagram, the Netflix, the excessive screen time. That adds to anxiety as well. So what I'm saying, guys, is that there's so many causes of anxiety. It's hard to pinpoint unless you are the person in the car driving and you can actually try some of these things out for yourself. And then you'll have like these aha moments like, whoa, like I stopped doing this. I started fasting and my anxiety got better. I quit drinking and my anxiety got better. Like all of these things will help. And I am telling you this because I'm a person who has literally no anxiety. Like I can't even tell you honestly the last time I had a panic attack or felt like I was going to get sucked in the sky or felt this crippling shortness of breath or chest pressure. It's gone. Good riddance. I don't ever want it to come back. Again, not trying to brag. I'm just showing you like this is the work I've done these last 2.5 years. These are the things I've tried, guys. And something's working. I mean, I still do a lot of these things, but the result is I'm just in a calm, chill, really good mood a lot of the times. So guys, intermittent fasting, your diet, your sleep, cutting out alcohol, big one. That one, just drinking is going to pretty much perpetuate the cycle. If you continue to use alcohol to deal with your anxiety, you are going to continue to stay trapped, feeling your anxiety, and it is never going to go away. Now, it's going to be hard. If you're used to coping with anxiety with alcohol, quitting it is going to be hard. And there is going to be some discomfort and there is going to be some anxiety. But there's a lot of things you can do for that. Everything I mentioned thus far, you can do that. You can meditate. There's plenty of guided meditations on YouTube that will teach you how to meditate. My favorite style of meditation is this one called Wim Hof breathing, where you big ass breath into your belly, into your chest, do it about 40 times, and then you release, and then you just hold your breath. Like you do a full exhale, and then you hold your breath for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. There's a lot of great ones online. I've held my breath for 5 minutes after exhaling all the air from my body. And that's because you hyperoxygenate with the Wim Hof breathing style. Then you let it go of all of it and you feel great. there is no anxiety. It actually increases your ability to control and respond to your own human stress response, which is why I like it. And you just feel great, guys. Ice baths, shocking your system with an ice bath. Like you might have a panic attack if you've never taken an ice bath, but after doing that and realizing you didn't die, you're going to feel amazing. Ice baths are great. Cold showers are great. Meditating is really great. And guys, try one of these, try all of these. I've listed off like 7, 8 different things you can do for your anxiety thus far. And there's plenty more. I hadn't even talked about supplements. I talked about a clean diet. There's supplements you can take. L-theanine. I'm not marketing like or brand dealing any kind of products or anything, but there's good supplements that you can take. Like I take this one, some of the good ingredients I remember, ashwagandha, L-theanine, GABA. I've taken all these, like I think Roselia root, Roselia extract. Just go on like Amazon, type in anxiety supplements, look at the reviews, and there's some really good ones out there. There's even like little pump dispensers with like GABA that you can put under your tongue, let it dissolve. CBD gummies to help you relax. Like I don't think supplements should be a permanent solution, but they definitely help when you're getting used to these new lifestyle changes, when you're getting into your body more, when you're exercising more, when you're taking care of yourself. Like all that stuff is going to create a version of you that just doesn't feel anxious anymore. But the supplements help because it's hard. It's hard to get your life together, especially when alcohol is such a big part of it. But it is possible. It's more than possible. And guys, tea is also really good. Chamomile tea, relaxing herbal tea. A couple bags of chamomile tea, sip on that, go to sleep. Some lavender aroma spray, aromatherapy, chill out. Magnesium powder is really good as well. 1-2 scoops of that in some hot water, mix it up, add in a tea bag there, drink it. Maybe some of these licorice root supplements like Leaky Gut Defense. Like I said, your gut gets damaged with alcohol. So ingesting these things to help line your gut, to calm down your nerves, to soothe you, and understanding that alcohol is a double-edged sword. Like it's going to cause anxiety, And I think there's this huge period of time for most of us where we can drink and not have the negative side effects of alcohol. But I think it catches up to us eventually. I think most people will eventually suffer with mental health issues and issues with your body and inflammation because it is a poison. At the end of the day, it's a poison. There's nothing good about it except the fact that it made you a little happy. But the result is it takes away your future happiness and it decreases your ability to feel happy without the substance. The more you use, the more you lose. And that's society's drug of choice, guys. And, I'm guilty of it. I enjoyed alcohol. I enjoyed it while it was something to be enjoyed. And I think from age 19 to 26, 27, it wasn't really like a problem for me. But, we all go through the spectrum differently. Some people might be a year you have a problem. I don't even want to call it a problem. It might be a year before it starts impacting your health. Maybe a month, maybe 10 years. Maybe you made it 30, 40 years and now you're at that line. It doesn't matter when you get there. The point is you're watching this video, you've probably gotten there, but it gets better. It gets so much better. And it's just like alcohol is just this temporary thing, guys. Like use it while it was a thing for your life and just make peace with it. Like, you were on the ride, you enjoyed it. The ride has to end. Life has to end. Not today. Hopefully not for a long time, but nobody lives forever. And I don't think anybody drinks forever either, so just make peace with your relationship with booze. Like it was a hard thing for me to do. And I don't want to paint the picture like I woke up one day and like, oh man, this is such a toxic thing. Like all of these things I just taught you and talked to you about were learned through painful experience, trial, error, heartbreak, dusting myself off, getting back on the horse, trying again, dusting myself off. Guys, I probably quit drinking / cut back on drinking 100 times. And I don't know, like eventually things clicked for me, but it wasn't like I just turned it on like, oh, I took in all this beautiful content. I watched Sammy Stark's 30-minute video about alcohol and anxiety and now I'm ready to quit. Like that might motivate you. And I hope this does motivate you because I just told you like 10 different things you can do to help manage your anxiety. Try one of them, try all of them, but you make me a promise that you're not going to stop trying because you're not going to stop trying. There is a version of you that doesn't wrestle with this bullshit anymore. He's out there. She's out there. I believe it. And there's so many things you can do to get there. Everything I mentioned will help. And then just personal growth, exercising, taking care of yourself. Like, guys, I'm telling you, I could talk about this stuff for literally hours. But you can overcome it. You can overcome it. I feel like medicine, like anxiety meds, that should be a last ditch effort. Like if you've tried everything I just talked about and gave it your all, and you were still having anxiety, then see a doctor about anxiety meds. Maybe something else is going on. Maybe we missed something. But journal this and give it a real good, honest try. Like everything I mentioned, guys, try it. Try one, try all of them. But I guarantee you, 99.9% of you guys out there, after watching this video and trying a lot of these things I'm talking to you about, you're going to be amazed at how good you feel. Like, and also, don't expect it to get better overnight. Like I said, once you quit drinking, there is going to be this window of discomfort. Use the supplements, go exercise, eat healthy, take care of yourself, get your sleep, do the routines I've talked about. But you still might have a little anxiety. There still might be a residual there. But large part of quitting drinking is buying into the discomfort, making this promise with yourself that, hey, I'm going to be uncomfortable for as long as it fucking takes until I get my shit together. And that was the promise I made to me. Eventually, I got so tired of it, tired of feeling like shit, tired of ruining friendships and relationships that I was like, fuck it, dude. I am just going to be a zombie and I'm going to feel all this anxiety. I'm going to feel all this sadness, all this depression, and I'm just not even going to resist it. I'm going to feel it. But you know what? When you start to feel things, you heal from things. Feel it to heal it. You got to feel it to heal it. So I made that promise to myself. I'm like, Sammy, I just don't give a shit anymore, dude. Like something's got to fucking change. And I was like, okay. I surrendered and I just told myself, I'm going to feel as bad as I need to feel until I start to feel better again. And well, 2.5 years later, guys, holy shit, what a journey. Dude, crazy to think about. But guys, I hope this inspires some of you out there to go out there and tackle your own anxiety, depression, sadness, whatever it is you're going through. Because I know there's a version of you out there who's better, who's stronger, who's wiser, who's happier, who's healthier, dude. This is your life. This is your story. What are you going to do about it? What kind of story are you going to live? This doesn't have to be the story where you spiral into crippling anxiety. This can be the story where you get your shit together and you live the life you've always wanted to live. You reach your dreams, you get whatever you want, you're proud of yourself. You're going to look back on this video you saw on YouTube a few years later down the road and be like, man, I really enjoyed that talk. And I did get my shit together. And I want to hear from you. Comment down below. How do you feel today? And if you come back to this video a year after watching it or something like that, like comment on the video and be like, hey, dude, I watched your video. A year's gone by. I've been sober. Life is fucking awesome. Hell yeah, dude, do that shit. I love you guys. Smash the like button for the algorithm. Like I said, I always love listening to your comments and subscribe to the channel. Because, we're trying to spread the word here. We're trying to get people happy, healthy, and thriving. So until next time, friends, what's the story you're telling yourself? And live your optimal story. The one where you win, the hero's journey. I love you. I'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way.